Rhonda Draculis here, RK3 Designs, and I'm gonna do a really neat finish today. I saw Mike from Stone Coat do this a long time ago, and I thought, that's pretty cool. I've got a customer that is looking for a true slate type of finish. They really want that natural stone, kind of a matte finish stone. If you can follow me, you know, a lot of times slate has that real matte finish on it. So what we're gonna do is I've prepped my board, my sample board, with Behr Paint and Primer in Suede Gray. So it's dry. Now, I went back and I got Behr Paint and Primer in Natural Gray. It's really an off white, kind of a grayish white. And I've mixed it with 50% water. So it's very runny. And most of the finish is going to be done pre-epoxy. So we're gonna get started. I wanna fog my board, and I'm using today Rust-Oleum Metallic Dark Copper. And I guess I should have shut my cans up before. And I'm just gonna kind of come in here and very lightly fog, hitting my edges. That's really what I want to address, are my edges. Come back in here with a champagne bronze, metallic champagne bronze. And I do like using the metallics on the bottom because the surface is going to be a matte type paint. So it's going to give some contrast there. So come back, and I'm just barely fogging. You don't really see any, I have no idea if I'm getting that edge or not. You don't see a distinct pattern. And then I'm going to come back over with some black. And this is just a gloss black. All of our products are Rust-Oleum. Rust-Oleum we've had the very best success with. I've used other spray paints, and I get some clumping in there, so I haven't had any problems with. There we go. All right, so I've just kind of pre-fogged. In the real world, you'll want to kind of let this dry probably faster than I'm going to let it, or longer than I'm going to let it dry. But we're just going to go right back over the top. All right, so like I said, 50% water, 50% paint. Just going to, it's kind of messy. Kind of pour it out. Now, y'all going to think we're crazy here, but it really does give a cool finish. Now, if it starts to kind of get too thick on you, which is what it's doing, I'm going to keep some water around. I'm going to address the edges. Y'all think I lost my mind yet? All right. So, now we're going to start adding some of the alcohol. And I'm going to start off with copper metallic mica powder from Stone Coat mixed with 91% alcohol. And the concentration that I try to use is half a bag, which I believe is a 1/4 ounce, to between 6 and 8 ounces of the isopropyl alcohol, depending on how concentrated. Each color is different. Your darker colors, your coppers and your bronzes, you can get away with going into 8 ounces of the alcohol. Some of the lighter colors like the teal, the real teal, the turquoise, the silver, I cut it back down to 6 ounces to a half a bag of the metallic. So I'm just going to come over here, and you're going to see what neat effects this alcohol is going to start doing to this water. Add a little bit of gold. And come in here with some black and kind of get some Let me get some patterns with this black. Kind of get some lines. All right. If you have some surface tension, you can just kind of come back and touch it. A lot of times that alcohol will leave a lot of surface tension. Now you're going to want to have that alcohol go down to that bottom substrate at places, because that's going to give you the depth. When this thing dries, you'll understand. And I've got a dry board over there that we're going to continue the process on. But let those voids happen. I'm going to come back over with my paint. And now you can start getting kind of creative. Maybe see where you want more color. That was the champagne bronze. I'm coming back with the dark copper. And then once you hit it with that paint, you can even come back over and hit it with your alcohol, and then you'll even get some really neat effects, because what happens is that alcohol starts to granify that paint that's sitting on top of the water. So you can really play with this. You really can't mess it up, actually. I'm going to come back in with some dark. I just want a little darker spots, maybe in the corner. All right. Okay, I'm really liking this one. I'm going to add, no, I think I'm going to leave that alone. Hit it with a little bit of gold. Maybe touch in where I see that it's really dry. I can just kind of touch and bring in that paint. Okay, so we're going to let this dry till tomorrow. For this board, I do have a board that I did last night that will continue on to the epoxy end of it. So I'll be right back. This is going to be fun. Okay, so now we're back. This is the piece that I did last night. And if you can notice here, you can really see down to the substrate where I had sprayed the metallics, right around where these voids are that the alcohol left. You can really see some neat patterns. So what I want to do before we start, I want to add a little more interest, a little more depth to the piece before we start adding epoxy. So I'm going to get a plastic bag, and I'm going to turn it inside out, because see how this has red lettering? This will transfer onto your board if you put the paint here. So I'm going to pull it inside out, and then I'm going to kind of, I want to rough it up so that I have texture here on the surface, not just round. And then come in with some paint. And I'm just going to kind of touch and bring in just a little bit more. Oh yeah. Now as this dries, it'll really have a metallic finish to it. And that was my dark copper metallic. And I'm going to add a little, regather my bag here so I have some interest texture. And I'm not putting a lot. I'm really just touching it very, very lightly. And I'm very lightly, kind of where I'm thinking maybe we need a little bit more interest in the top. Oh yeah, that's very pretty. And then I'm going to just hit a little bit of with the black. Very tiny amount with the black. There we go. All right, so this is looking really like natural slate to me. Okay. All right. Looks good. Okay, so we're back, and I've mixed up some Stone Coat countertop epoxy, and we're going to go straight over the top. I've let the additional metallic spray paint dry for just a little bit. Now, you could absolutely stop at this point and just leave the finish like it is. This would be a fantastic finish. Now, I am going to be doing a matte finish on this piece. My whole goal is to create that slate piece of stone, which is a very natural matte type of stone anyway. So I could stop right there, but I'm not. I'm going to continue. All right, so I've addressed my edges. And I'm going to torch it a little bit to get my air out. Now this is a gorgeous finish. By itself, I could walk away and be done with it. My videographer, Paul, has already claimed this to his shower one day. So this is gorgeous, just like this. I could leave it alone, come back, hone it, give it a matte finish, and be done. But, you know, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go a little farther. So I want to bring in some depth. So I'm going to start adding a little bit of alcohol on the top mixed with my copper. And I'm going to be pretty select on where I do it, because I don't want to overpower this and make it really metallic-y, because my whole goal is to give it a matte finish. So I don't want to go crazy with the metallics. Let me come in here with a little bit of black. Now, if you could see this from an angle, you could see I've got some of those colors laying on top. And then when I get ready to do my flood coat, you would have that beautiful depth. Now, if I did not add anything to the epoxy when I first poured it, I would not have to put a flood coat on it. I would be good at that. But since I am introducing other materials into this coat, which I'm still considering it my color coat, I am going to want to apply a top coat, a flood coat. For durability on that, since I have introduced material into that surface. All right, so I'm really liking that, but because I'm me, I want to add a little more interest. I don't necessarily want to add any more color as far as metallics, but I do want to come in here and give kind of this one corner right here, I'm wanting to add a little more interest. It's to me, it's kind of boring. So, ooh, I grabbed the wrong can of paint. There we go. Lesson, put the right caps on the right can. Okay, so I'm going to get the gloss black. And I'm just going to do what I call, you know what, I'm going to actually do it with a copper. I changed my mind again. Don't judge me. So, I'm just going to come in, I'm going to fog that one corner, and then I'm going to hit it with a little bit of alcohol, and that's going to cause some fracturing, which I really like that right there. And I think I'm going to do it right over here to this edge. Now, if I want some more fracture, but I don't want to add any more mica color, I come in with my plain alcohol, and I can still get the effect without getting too much color on the top. So, okay, I really like that. That really took care of that corner, and I love this. Wow. What do you think, Paul? You liking it? All right. Cool. Yeah, that's really, those fractures are opening up as I add more alcohol. It's opening up and letting those colors from the bottom come through. Wow. See, guys, you got to know when to stop. I don't. I like to play. All right. So, here you go. Beautiful finish. Very, very easy to create this finish. And wow, it's gonna be a knockout, especially when I do a matte finish on it. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. If you don't mind, give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and hit the little bell so you can be subscribed to my channel. And keep up with me on Facebook at RK3 Designs, and check out my website, rk3designs.com. Until next time, have a good day.